I'm good. I was trying to find my glasses and I couldn't find them anywhere.
Okay, you won't need them. That's okay. We don't need to really read anything, so that's fine.
These are
How was your training? I believe you were training. You told me that you're hoping that
I just finished. It was a great session. It was very hard, but it was a shorter one than normal. So I'm pretty happy because I finished it in before this. So that's always the goal.
So let's start with that. Let's start with how fit you are. Why are you so fit? And how do you remain so fit? Because that is something that all of us are, struggling with to remain fit. How did that journey start?
For me, okay, well, I actually got into fitness when I was around 19. But I mean, everyone is involved in sports and stuff when they're in school. But then I think I got really serious about it once I moved to Bombay, because that's when I first joined a gym on my own, like without anybody telling me, hey, gym jaate hain, whatever. So I felt like there was something missing in my entire day because I was just working a lot that point in time. And I just really wanted some me time. So I went and enrolled in a gym. And then after that, I think when I started to train, it was more about having 1 hour in a day where I felt like I had some control in my entire life, because I felt like I was 19 and I was just working all the time and I barely had a say in anything that I was doing, especially with work. Because when you're a VJ and you sign a contract, then you're just working all the time. Like, how are you going to be a newcomer and just say no to people? Kaise? So I was just like, yes. And I wanted to work at that point in time because you're young, you're hungry, you want to like prove something to yourself and, make it in your own list of ambitions. So I was just working, nonstop. Then finally, I figured from that 1 hour of me taking that 1 hour out for myself in a day, it did so much for me for the rest of the day. Like I felt like, for the next like 23, 22 hours, whatever it may be, people can say whatever and I have to do whatever. But for this 1 hour that I get to go to the gym and train, it's all me. Like I get to do it and there's no external factors that are going to affect this outcome. So that's where I got serious about training and nutrition also eventually. The nutrition took a much longer time for me to pay attention to actually, because I was pretty happy with my progress in the gym. I was like, hey, body ban rahi hai. Whatever.
But what kept you motivated? We all join the gym, especially, in December. The New Year resolution is that, okay, I'll go and pay for a year so that then I will continue. How did it land up being a routine for you? It's part of your life now.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what to tell people when they ask me this question, really, because everyone asks me about motivation. They're like, hey, Bani, how do you stay motivated? And please tell us and all that. And it's just a drive. You just have a drive. Like there's some people that everybody knows in our lives that are like super lazy and they'll never do anything and they just want to like chill and just get away with doing as little in their lives as possible. And that's fine. That's their goal. That's their thing, And then there's some people that, that are just like the complete opposite and they just are like go all the time. They don't have a stop button. They don't have a pause button. They don't know what rest is. They don't know what recovery is. They just always, going.
On the go.
Yeah, always. And I just keep waiting for these people ki abhi bhai iska burnout hone wala hai. Like I know a lot of these people, like of all kinds. And I just feel like for me, a lot of people, at least even up until 5-6 years ago, people used to be like, oh my God, you're crazy and you're such a fitness freak and you're a gym freak and all of this terminology used to be used. And I just used to watch them and be like, okay, they think I'm like really obsessed with this or something, but I know what it is for me. It means it's longevity. It means it's health. It means it's long term. And I want it to be a lifestyle for me. This is something that I do even when I'm traveling. I always make sure that wherever I'm going, there has to be a gym wherever I'm traveling to. Otherwise, there's no point for me. There really isn't. And I don't mean like a gym, like an indoor gym. It can be an outdoor gym. I just have to have like a few weights and plates and I'm sorted. Because resistance training, I think, is extremely important for women. And I don't understand why you wouldn't move in a day. Why would you not have some sort of movement flow happening for you physically in your life every day? It has so many benefits, not just mentally, physically, emotionally. You feel so much better. And it doesn't have to be weight training. Everyone's always like, arey, weight training. I'm like, no, bro, do some yoga, go for a run, do anything you want. Just,
just move.
And I think that people would understand if they did it And most of these questions always come from people who are not training at all. They're like, "Arey, kya karti rehti hai," and all that. And I'm like, "Arey, try na at least one day at least do na. You'll see. Then you'll understand if you really want to understand."
Right.
But yeah, I don't think I've answered your question. But yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's like meditating for me. I have to train. It's like eating for me. It's like breathing for me. I just have to do it because it gets me in the zone. There's things we all do that get us in the zone. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching don't really know the terminology, or they may call it something different about what it is to them, about what gets them in the zone, you know. Training is that for me. It really centers me, and it just, I don't know, it's something very grounding I found about it. So it's something that I make sure I do every day. Like meditating, I do it every day because it makes me saner, it makes me calmer, and definitely a lot of
So
introspection.
no rest day for you? You don't take like active rest or
I
like
do.
complete break?
I have full rest days. I have 2 rest days in a week where I just chill. I mean, I don't chill. There's so much to do, but yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, of course. I mean, the workout,
chill.
you know, the workout rest. The
Yeah.
workout rest.
Yeah, I take a break
So you
from
do
training.
take 2 days of
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
So it's 5 days of workout and 2
Yep.
days of rest. Now, you know, being fit is one thing, but the shape that you are in, and I have been working out every day since the lockdown. Earlier, I was irregular, but because now I have time, so every single day I work out. And now I realize that when I look at you or Malaika or people like Mandira, it takes a lot to reach that level of fitness. It takes a lot of intensive workout. You have to be really focused to reach there. So fitness is one level, but you girls have taken it a notch higher. What was that little push beyond which pushed you to doing that? So there is always a reward, right? That, okay, if I do this, I will get this. Was it any such thing that triggered that in you? Because you can just be in shape, and then there is cuts, right? You want the cuts on your arms and the legs, and so that's the next level.
Yeah, I guess. I think I moved out of that phase in my 20s about want my body to look a certain way in terms of I always wanted abs and all. I've had abs since I was in 8th grade though, so that's great. They've just kind of gotten better, I think, over time as muscle maturity happens. But I definitely wanted my strength to improve with as I was aging. That's definitely been one of my major goals, is to just be stronger as I'm getting older. And that kind of only happens with muscle maturity and if you keep hammering away every single day. So as you just mentioned, these other women, of course, Mandira and Malaika, they're like legends in their own fields of doing what they're doing, because obviously all of us do different things and all of our definitions of fitness is very different. But that's what I meant about everybody just has to find their thing, you know what I mean? And you move your body in whichever way you want, but then you have to be consistent about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And then it's just and then yeah, I've seen a lot of people like get very carried away with it for sure, and then they just like then they become obsessed with it. So how I'm sure people look at me and think I'm obsessed with lifting as well, because I just post that all the time. But there's a bazillion things I do in a day that I don't post about. So I'm obsessed about a lot of things, and people used to tell me at one point in time, they're like, "Oh my God, you're crazy and you train so much." And I said, "Yeah, I'm very religious about my training," is what I used to say, because that was the best way I could find to explain, especially to Indian people, because anything that you say is religious to them, they're like, "Oh, okay. Like then they would understand that that's how serious I was about it." But yeah, so I moved on from wanting just aesthetic appeal many years ago. And then I think maybe because I surpassed it, and then it's just something that you can retain, I guess, also. And then, yeah, man, my mom had great genetics up until, she was like 55, and she was just like never fat. She was a yoga teacher, and she trained as well, weight training. And then she just like did lots of yoga, ate really healthy. And I think we're blessed with good genetics for sure, but I think that there's a lot more you can do with it depending on what your goals are. So for me, it's strength training. I love being able to lift my own body weight, do a lot of push-ups, do pull-ups, like basic movements I think are very important. For women, I think it's important to be strong, like physically strong. And I think that a lot of women just undermine their own physical strength. And because, of course, it's hard work, man. It's challenging as hell. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. There's days that I've struggled a lot as well. I'm like, I can't do this today. But then I'm like, I literally say to myself, Bani, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? If you don't do it, This is what I say to myself all the time. Bani, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? And I'm like, all right, then. I will lift
Let's do it.
And then I just lift it. So, yeah. Yeah.
Now a very different question, and I'm connecting it to what you said earlier, which was how to say no. Like you said, when you were 19 and when you were working day in and day out, it was very difficult. And we all, not all, some of us too, including me, I had that issue of not being assertive enough. How did you in your life learn this rule of being assertive? Because saying no is a very crucial part of our lives.
It is, yeah.
And that we make mistakes and we learn, especially people who, like I said, were not used to being assertive. How did you learn that?
I think there's construction going on upstairs.
No,
So you're gonna hear some random drilling, guys. I'm sorry about that. I think that I learned it also at a pretty young age because I started working pretty young, and then there was this. I remember this very distinctly. I was sitting in outside this building that I was staying as, of course, as a tenant, and I was 19 or 20. Has to be my first or second year because it was that building, and I know the name of it also. And I was just sitting downstairs outside the building, and I was crying my eyes out because I had to go back for shoot, and I had like a, I don't know, 12, 13-hour day, and I had to go back to shoot the next day. And like I remember that I had something had gotten scratched in my eye, and I had like a bandage over my eye, and I still had to go and shoot the next day. And I was like, how am I gonna shoot? Like I literally have like an injury or whatever, and they were just being very like, no, you have to come. We don't have anybody else available. And I was like, dude, that's really messed up on so many levels. I was like 20. I must have been 20. Yeah, 19 or 20. I must have been, and I just remember bawling my eyes out and being like, what on earth is going on? And I was like, this is not this. I'm so unhappy right now. This is not what's making me happy. This is not happiness. This is not like, and it was just me questioning and having that thought in my head about, dude, this isn't what it's supposed to be like for me. And I think that was a very key thing that happened, that realization, that questioning of my own state of happiness and unhappiness, because that's when the second follow-up question came, and it was basically like, well, what will make you happy? And I was like, not going to work tomorrow will make me happy, because then I'll have one day, which has been a break in like 8 months. So yeah, and then after that, I just like, see, I'm pretty fearless in terms of, I think that's why people say that the most dangerous people are the people who have nothing to lose. Because and in order to, when you say that, people always forget a very main factor in that sentence is basically that being fearless is knowing your own worth and knowing that no matter what happens, you will have your own back. It's not just going balls out crazy and be like, "Arey, tu ye, tu wo," and sabko gaali de do, and I don't give a shit. And like, nahi, man, there's so much more to it than just that. You know what I mean? So when I realized this about myself, about I just need to be happy, and it just kind of dawned on me, and of course I didn't articulate it as well as I can do it now. It was about me understanding in that one split second that, dude, if I just do something that I love every day, I'm pretty sure my life will revolve around things that I love to do all day long. And I just have to chase that. I just have to chase that feeling. And it just kind of made sense to me. And then I went back to work, and I became the mother of saying no to everybody. I literally did. I became quite a pain, because people would come to me and be like, hey, would you like to do this? And I said, nope. They're like, why? I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it's funny. Like, I think we can do better. But like, you know, and then people didn't like it, because as it is, I'm like a strong woman, right? Because I have opinions and I'm an individual and I don't rely on nobody. So that's what I mean. Like, I have very little to lose, because you don't pay my bills, right? So what you say, your opinion on the way I live my life, doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter.
And it shouldn't. And I think a lot of people have this thing and they get stuck in it. They get stuck in this rut because they have to answer to too many people, and they forget that the only person
that they take that position, you know. The thing is that that's a very crucial point that you said, that if somebody's not paying your bills, they're not coming to your help whenever you're down and out, then why would you respect their opinion, or why would you even fall for it and let it affect you also emotionally, that kind of pushes you into depression or anxiety? And that we see a lot, especially because of social media and this whole competition, that you know, that's what is causing a lot of mental disorders. Now, coming to another aspect of you, which is tattoos. Why so many tattoos?
Why not?
Because it's a very, I have 2 tattoos, so I'm not anti it.
Yes,
I love
2.
I have 2, so I have nothing against it. It's just out of norm in that sense. If you define norm as not having tattoos,
it's very normal for me.
do you find it as an art? Because that's what a lot of people who have a lot of tattoos say, that it's a form of art for us. It's body art.
It's I don't think about things like this ever. I don't think about, oh, it's not normal. I don't think about the fact that, man, most people don't have tattoos. I don't think about, maybe I'm one of the most tattooed people in this country, being a female. I don't think about these things at all. They are things that don't come into my thoughts, because these aren't reasons, these aren't explanations or justifications that I ever have to give to anybody about anything that I'm doing, right? I just do it because I love to do it. My house is filled with plants. Why? Because I love plants. And there's nobody else around me to be like, hey man, plants suck. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
I'm not asking you from the point of view that, oh, everybody doesn't, so you should not. Not from that at all. But it is something like, for example, I love studying. I love giving exams. Now, I don't know anybody else who does that, right? And people say that you're crazy at this age, you're going back to studying, and I'm doing my second master's in psychology. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I like to do. I enjoy it because it keeps my brain active. So I have that reason. That was the reason I was looking for. Not because of everybody else or nobody else is doing it. Not at all. Like you said, who cares?
Yeah. I feel like I think that's great, by the way, that you're studying. And it's awesome that you're pursuing something and chasing something that makes you happy. I think not enough people are doing that, and they should all be doing it. So that's
I agree.
Hats off to you. And I just feel as though, man, it's so simple, man. It's like I want a tattoo since I was a very young kid. I used to tell my mom all the time, Mom, I want a tattoo, Mom, I want a tattoo. And my mom got tattoos when she was like 35. I don't know how old I must have been. I must have been like a preteen only. And I was like, Mom, I want a tattoo. And we went to Goa one day for a holiday. And I met her tattoo artist. And Mom was like, you still want to get the tattoo? I said, yeah. So I got my first tattoo when I was like 14 or 15. I'm not even sure, by my mom's tattoo artist. So my mother was also next level. That is why I am like this.
So it's passed down in the genes, I guess.
I'm pretty sure. And then we got tattoos together also. Like, I traveled to Thailand to shoot a film, and then she came and stayed with me, and then we went and she got half her back done, and I got my inner arm tattoos and all that. So it was pretty cool. And I think that that obviously made it very okay for me. The fact that my mom was with me when I was getting tattooed, it became like a thing. She was doing it, and I knew she was doing it also for her own reasons, to feel freer. And I think it has a lot to do with owning your own body. In a lot of ways, in terms of you kind of acknowledge what impermanence is. It's so cool. It's just so cool to me that you can get something so permanent done on your body, knowing very well that your body is not going to be with you for the rest of your life. So it's such an awesome way to acknowledge something like that. That I think I care so much for my body, but I also don't care about the fact that it's not going to be with me forever. I respect it. I use it as a tool of self-expression to the max, because I think that's what we're here for. And yeah, man, that's what
so it's basically attachment with detachment, which is such a big point that you made, and that's how life should be lived.
Yeah,
attachment with detachment.
But it's very hard to do it. And now the next level of this is to do it with compassion. Best of luck. It's very hard, yeah. It's hard, but
how did acting begin? Did you always want to be in front of the camera? Were you always a performer, or it just happened by fluke?
No, I grew up in the age where we had no digital cameras or phones or anything like that. So there's never any screens around us. I just like my sister has this term she's coined for me, especially. It's called PTP. So anytime there'd be like a gathering of relatives that would come over on the weekends, dinner, lunch and all of that, families there, and this awkward silence is happening, and bache ko bulate hain, chalo kuch karke dikhao types. So she'd always be like, Bani will do it, don't worry, PTP. She's like, bro, PTP. And I'm like, what is PTP, bro? She's like, pressure to perform, you can do it. I was like, thanks, bro. So I'd go and be like, hey uncle, how are you? Kya baat hai? Tell me something about your wife. She's so pretty. Where did you get these earrings from? Some shit, I don't know what. And I think I just like entertaining people. I like telling stories. I like people. I like it when you can make somebody feel something, obviously, and you can have that resonation factor, which I think is super important. And I didn't realize that I could translate that into acting until just recently, really, because I used to get acting gigs a lot when I was younger, but I was very comfortable being myself. So when you're comfortable being yourself and you know yourself, then to be an actor, I think I think, at least for me, it took some time to come to terms with, all right, now I can act. I just knew that I wasn't ready to act. And then I think a couple of thousand life experiences later, I was like, okay, I got it now. I got it. I'm ready. So that's literally just what happened. And I learned acting for an entire year. I went and I studied it, did a foundation, intermediate, and advanced course and all of that, like 5 hours a day, every day. It was super intense. And I really enjoyed it. But when you're acting in a class, and when you're acting in front on a screen, and there's a set, and it's a very different feeling altogether. It's quite cool, yeah. It's like one of the coolest things. It's the coolest thing that you can do as a living, I think. Literally, like just one of the coolest things you can do, especially if you're good at it. Amazing.
Of course, I agree completely. Now, coming to Roadies, what was the experience like?
Roadies, oh my god, how many years ago was that? 2006? Yeah, 2006. That was a long time ago. I was 18. I didn't enjoy it. I remember I enjoyed the journey, but I didn't enjoy the people, which is what happens with me in most places. Wherever I go, it's mostly like I enjoy being here. I'm enjoying the weather. I'm enjoying looking at these places, but I'm not enjoying these people. No, they are ruining it for me. Why are they doing like this? And it's not changed. Like, I'm in my 30s now. This was when I was 18. Not much has changed. So, yeah. But it was...
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But it just kind of reaffirmed something that I had already learned and realized in high school about people and the way they behave. Especially, like, people in late teenage years to your early 20s. Because that's the cast. That's the age of the cast on the show. And I just realized, man, people have a hard time accepting things that are very different from them, even if it's just 1% different from what they're used to. They just want to like mock it and make fun of it, but not understand it. And I was like, so sad. And it's what happened to me in high school. It's what happened to me when I was on Roadies. It's what happened to me in Bigg Boss. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. I only learned the same lessons again and again, which I've already realized. So, but now I'm supposed to be calmer about it. I understand that also. Okay, fine.
So how do you deal with it? What is the narrative that goes on in your head?
Like now or then?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Well, when I was younger, I was very defensive. You can see the whole journey actually, because it's cool in a way, because all my learnings are there on reality TV shows for me also to have to see. I'll never watch them, but like I know this is what they're watching and this is what's happened. So when I was on Roadies, it was all about me being extremely defensive and defending myself, defending myself in terms of my identity, of what I was like. I didn't like that they were making fun of me, obviously. Who likes being made fun of? Nobody. Why were they making fun of me? Not because I was like looking funny. Because I was sounding funny, because I was speaking with an accent and they couldn't understand why does she have an accent. Because I went to an international boarding school, bro. So, what do you mean so? Why do you not speak Hindi? Which I still get asked today also. आप हिंदी में क्यों नहीं बात करते? अरे आप इंडिया में रहते हैं, आपकी मातृभाषा है. Bro, because I think in English. Why do you think in English, bro? अब मैं कैसे समझाऊँ तुम्हें? So, it's like, the amount of explanation and reasoning and justification you have to give to present your case to somebody else, I feel is just the most useless thing in the world. Rather than that, it's exhausting. And how many times are you going to do it, man? And being in the public, like limelight or whatever it is, people will feel like, अरे आपकी तो responsibility है ना, आप सुनते रहो ना, मत सुनो, पर जवाब तो देना चाहिए ना आपको. अरे madam, I'm like, nah, bro, that's not cool. I don't think that's okay. I don't think so at all. Like, if I turn around and ask you these questions, how would you feel? Arey, but I am not a star na. Arey, bhai, it's not about that. It's just like, forget that you're a human being. Just forget about it. So I just kind of stopped giving anything about it. I just had to stop caring about it completely and just really disassociate with it, which really sucked also, because I'm a massive empath, especially when it comes, like, mostly thankfully just mainly to animals, which I think is the most important thing. But with human beings also, man, transference is like very exhausting when it happens and you're around somebody, and then it's very draining. And then basically by the time I just fast forward to Bigg Boss. So when I got to Bigg Boss, which was about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I just knew that, I mean, I didn't really think anything once I went inside. I didn't watch an episode or anything like that. Still haven't seen an episode. I just knew me going in. That's it. And I was like, and I'm just gonna hope that people are nice. That's all. And it made me so sad. I think I cried every single day I was there. For 107 days, I cried every day. Because it drained me so much to listen to everything that they were saying and just be like,
Yeah.
just let it go. Just let it go. And it was just, I would feel so sad for their lack of understanding and just wherever they were at. And I was like, now I can't do it. And then there were, obviously I fought a lot also while I was there, because there was so many times where I was like, I can't handle this shit, dude. Like, what is this nonsense? Why would you say these things? Why would you act this way? Why would you even think like this? Why would you jump to this conclusion? And that's why for a year after that I didn't work. I could not face a camera. I did not want to look at anybody and give any explanations about anything. I was done. I actually didn't think I'd work again after that, like in the media. I was like, man, bas pack up ho gaya. That I was spent. I was completely burnt out after that. 1 whole year I didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, Bigg Boss is a very intensive experience. I was in Bigg Boss 3 and I was in for 77 days. That time it was for 84 days, thankfully. And
Wow.
I agree with you. It was when I came out, it was very disorienting. I couldn't hack it. It's just like, why?
It's hard to have a normal interaction with anybody after that. It's very hard.
Yeah, it is. So what made you come back? So that is a very crucial part of my chat, which is to share with the viewers, because most of the people think that, we've got everything on a silver platter, or life is easy for us, but it's not. We all have ups and downs.
I don't know why they think that I think it also has a lot to do with how stars are treated in our country and how they want to be treated, and they're okay being treated like that. They're okay being treated like their lives are served on silver platters, and for a lot of them it is like that, but for a lot of them it's not like that. And I think that people like having that image. They really do. A lot of people, they like it. They like people perceiving themselves as being only highlight reels and nice and shiny and flawless. And that's fine. That's their perception of it. It's not the reality of it. I don't think a lot of people...
Absolutely not. And that's what my endeavor for this chat is that even if it is perceived, or even if it is projected, even consciously by a celebrity to show that, oh, everything is hunky-dory and everything is pretty. But in real life, everybody goes through a lot of negativity, a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles. So after having taken a 1 year break, which is a long time for an actor to take a gap year, how did you come out of it? How did you surpass?
It's so funny. So after Bigg Boss, I'm sure this happened with you as well. I got offered like at least, I don't know, 8 shows or something, and so much money was thrown at my face. Ye karo, ye karo, ye karo, ye lo, ye lo, ye lo. And I was like, I sat in the meetings and I cried and I said, I can't. I don't want to be here. I just want to leave. Salman Khan had told me, don't leave the country, Bani. You stay and you do all the work. Huh? And I said, sir, please. I am going, sir. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to UK. Because my sister was there, my mom was there. I was like, sir, I am leaving. Bye. Sorry. Do not go, he told me. He's like, stay. And I was like, bye. So sorry. I left, man. I couldn't. Like, my soul was not happy. And then I just traveled, I trained, I did whatever I wanted to do. I went to different parts of the world and I just did a lot of meditation workshops. I did a lot of hand balancing, aerial, what all I learned that. I just spent a lot of time learning things that and I went to places that nobody knew me. That's like the best part of life for me, is going somewhere nobody knows you. Amazing. Best. I think more people should do that. And then when I came back, I got called in for a meeting for 4 more shots. And it was a meeting with Rongita and Ishita, and I just went for the meeting. I didn't think anything about it, And then they pitched this character to me and the show idea, what they had for it, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. And I literally sat there and I was listening to them, and I said, in my mind, the only thought that came to mind was, this is what you were waiting for. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And I said, all right, cool, let's do this then. And I just said yes, and then I was the first person to be cast actually for that show.
So what a comeback in that sense, if I may call it a comeback, really, after 1 year of doing aerial yoga and hanging upside down, suddenly you landed on such a great platform. And I mean, that show obviously has been perceived as a very, very glamorous and very, very popular show, of course.
Yeah.
So now that you're back on track, do you see yourself as a completely different person from...
I don't think I was ever off track.
You were?
You said that, so now that you're back on track. I've always been on track. I've never gone off track in terms of form.
Oh, well, you know how it is. we all have a GPS. We take by lanes at times. We are on track, but we do take a detour to reach our destination.
Well, I don't know if I'd
At
got
times.
it or it's just something that I had to do.
Huh?
And I really don't look at me being in the media and me being an actor as my sole goal in life at all. I don't think so at all. And I feel like there's so much more to life than that. It's not something I would ever limit myself and define myself as just one thing. And I don't think anybody should do that. For a lot of people, it is the end all goal for them, and that's what they're defined as, and that's basically it. And they want a full stop after that, and that's great for them. But that's not it for me. There's a lot more that I think I'm meant to do than just act, for sure. It's one of the many.
You want to share that with us?
I think it'll just unfold on its own really naturally as is happening. And I think that there's a lot of beauty in that. So, because people get to watch the journey, and I think that's going to make a lot of sense to them also, just watching it. So, yeah, sorry, I fully interrupted your question.
No, that's fine. So what you're saying is that you will let it unfold as in voluntarily, as in will you mold or shape the way your life is going into doing different things?
Of course. There's so much of, I feel like the only kind of actions that anybody should take is actions that come inspired from something, from pure inspiration and pure motivation. That means that it has to come from not a place of fear and not a place of ego. So the next time, or this is homework for everybody watching really, is that the next time that you feel like you need to do something, you're feeling restless and you just want to do something productive to feel like you have done something. Literally just take a minute and sit down, meditate, breathe, whatever it may be, whatever that gets you in the zone. And then just take a deep breath and think about it, ma'am. Think about, let your breath answer for you, actually. That's the best thing. And just ask yourself, am I doing this from a place of fear, or am I doing this from a place of ego? Where is this motivation of this action coming from? And if it comes from a pure place of positive energy and just inspiration, then you know it's the right thing for you to do. But this obviously takes years to kind of understand. It's taken me a while to get it as well. But once I got it, it's the only way I make most decisions in my life on a day-to-day basis. I don't do anything that I don't feel inspired to do, which is why I literally say no to a lot of things, because I'm like, nope, I don't feel any inspiration to go there. I don't feel like, no, there's nothing inspiring me to do this, so why should I do it? And I think that more people, if they live their lives like that on a day-to-day basis, it will definitely change their entire life.
Absolutely. Now that we are continue to be in lockdown, how has your journey in the lockdown been?
I mean, it's not changed much really. I was pretty much a hobbit before this as well, so I've just come back into my hobbit den. And I'm doing it more in India than I would be doing it internationally, because otherwise I'd just be traveling every month, and now I'm just sitting at home. So that's mainly the only difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. Training every day, meditating every day, riding, spending time with animals. Oh yes, I have actually, well, I mean, I spend time at sanctuaries when I go abroad as well, and there's just a pull. You feel a pull to do certain things. So I've just been spending a lot of time with this wild pig that just rows around my building and has given birth to a litter, and I go and I feed them, and I just make sure that they're fine, and hopefully once I have a word with their owner, I will get them adopted at a shelter, which I think will be really good for them. So it's so funny, because what I'm doing right now, I'm talking to you on Instagram live, and then when I go and spend time with the pigs and feed them, it's like polar opposites of everything. It's so funny to me. Like it's just like it's amazing what's happening. But yeah,
Absolutely. So Bani, I would like to thank you very much for coming on Dr. A Talks and sharing your thoughts. They were very, very insightful, and there have been a lot of takeaways for all our viewers. And I will of course post this on IGTV so more people can watch it and learn and become inspired, be inspired, and live the life the way it's meant to, by knowing yourself, doing things that give you joy, literally give you joy. Don't do anything that doesn't give you joy. So that is a great takeaway. Is there one message that you would like to give to all these viewers who have joined us on this chat?
I know that for a lot of people watching, a lot of what I said has just probably gone over their heads, and they're like, what is she talking about? I have no idea. But if you're really stuck in your life, you're feeling, see, the thing is, you have to be very receptive about anything that's coming away. So if you're here watching this live, it's for a reason. So if you're looking for a sign, this is the sign, man. And do what you love and just literally trust it. That's such a repetitive thing that I know people have heard in their lives before, but just trust yourself. Just don't care about what anyone else is saying. Just listen to yourself. That's it. You'll get all your answers.
Listen to your gut feeling. That's a very good way of, listening to yourself. It
Yeah.
always gives you the right answer. That's great. So thank you very much. I'm really grateful that you accepted my invitation.
Of course.
And all the best for your life unfolding in a very beautiful manner.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yes.
So much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.